Earlier that traffic appears to be back in some areas, right?
Yeah.
Depending where you're going. People are going back to work and back in school.
Absolutely.
But the traffic patterns look a little different than they did before, right?
Yeah, they did. And of course, because so many people, maybe you're working a half schedule, hybrid, something like that,
Sure.
running errands, your kids around. Ty is live this morning with more on how driving habits and the traffic jams they create have really changed. Hey, Ty, good morning.
Good morning, you guys. Yeah, I think this is fascinating because you're exactly right. A lot of things have changed since the pandemic. Traffic has changed, but right now, the Maricopa Association of Governments, they just released their study of all of this traffic. They've been studying and looking at traffic since the beginning of the pandemic. Obviously, at the very beginning, remember, everybody was working from home. We had those lockdowns. You could go anywhere in town in just a matter of minutes because there was nobody on the freeways, but now things are changing. So I introduce you to my new friend here. This is Wang Zhang. He is the Transportation Data Program Manager. So let's talk about this. You guys started looking at traffic patterns at the beginning of the pandemic, and you kind of just released your studies. What are you guys seeing right now? What's happening?
Right now, we have same number of cars running on the road as pre-pandemic. As a matter of fact, the traffic volume in the valley has returned to the pre-pandemic level since March 2021, and it has maintained at this level for last 6 months.
But some things have changed though, right? Kind of interesting that some of the areas that were kind of plagued with traffic problems no longer have those, but there's some new areas that now have problems. So where are you seeing some of those trouble spots now?
Well, first of all, the overall freeway congestion is much lighter. The freeway congestion is lighter on both morning rush hour and afternoon rush hours. We've seen many places congestion has gotten better. For example, I-10 from Phoenix downtown to US 60, I-17 on both directions, and Loop 101, specifically Pima Freeway and the Price Freeway from I-17 all the way down to Loop 202 Santan. They all have seen less congestions these days.
So Mr. Zhang, if we have the same amount of cars on the roadways now, but we're not seeing that congestion, what can you attribute that to?
There are mainly two reasons behind it. The biggest reason we believe seems to be people are traveling at different time of the day, or people intend to travel throughout the day instead of just concentrated in their travel during the rush hours. Our travel patterns have changed because of the increased telework and the changes to your trip, going to school, going to shopping, and going to entertainment. And the reason number two, many major freeway improvement projects were done in the last 2 years, adding additional capacities to our freeway system. That has certainly contributed to reducing the travel delay or congestion.
So let's look into the future if we can. What do you guys kind of anticipate happening as we see more people going back to work, going back into those offices, kids going back to the classrooms, things like that? Do you anticipate things are going to stay kind of status quo, or do you think that we're going to start to see maybe those issues that we saw in the traffic pop back up?
Yeah, nobody has crystal ball to tell exactly what's going to happen, but based on our analysis and our observations, as you said, we have people transitioning back from working from home to office. We have students going back to in-person learning at schools. Those are all contributing to increasing the congestion, particularly in the morning. What we can tell you is that traffic conditions continue to evolve in the valley, but we have not reached to the new normal yet. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Zhang, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. Really fascinating stuff, though, you guys. So we're going to put that article on our website, fox10phoenix.com, so we can link to that. You can kind of take a look at all of their findings. But it is pretty fascinating that we're seeing that traffic back to pre-pandemic levels. But just because times and things have kind of changed in everybody's lives right now, that you're not really seeing those big issues that we used to see.
Yeah, it's divvied up more throughout the day, right? So more people are traveling.
And I think that new stretch of the 202 helps quite a bit. Like they were talking about, you know, heading east and so
the extended lanes on that Loop 101 Pima Freeway. Yes, precisely.
Great. Thank you, Ty.
Thanks, Ty.